Have you ever noticed how just one simple sentence can turn an otherwise confident person into a raging beast? Or maybe cause them to freeze up, completely speechless and blinking confusedly? If you're dealing with a narcissist, you already know that the usual rules of engagement simply don't apply. Logic is futile. Your emotions are weaponized against you. But what if I told you there were specific stop words, phrases that a narcissist literally cannot handle? In this video, we will break down 20 of them. Think of this as your verbal self-defense arsenal. Prepare yourselves. Some of these phrases might strike you as laughably simple, but the resulting impact, it's astonishing. Make sure you stick around till the end, because the 20th phrase is essentially the nuclear launch code for their ego. Ready to unlock the secret? Let's dive in. Before we get to the list, let's quickly cover the mechanism. Why does a narcissist even react to words? You might assume they simply don't care about your opinion, but that's just an illusion. Think of the narcissist like a balloon. It looks large and imposing, but inside, it's hollow. It only maintains its shape through external pressure, specifically your attention and your emotional reactions. This is what we call narcissistic supply. When you argue, cry, or defend yourself, you are inflating that balloon. But the phrases we're going to discuss today function like a sharp needle. They starve the narcissist of the needed emotion. Instead, they establish a hard boundary rooted in reality. And reality is the narcissist's ultimate enemy. They inhabit a fabricated world where they are the king and you are merely a subject. When you utter these phrases, you shatter that fantasy. You pull them crashing back down to earth. And that collision with reality is exactly what triggers such a dramatic reaction, ranging from explosive rage to absolute paralysis. Your crucial task is to deliver these words calmly, without any emotion. That quiet, unwavering composure is precisely what makes them so devastatingly effective. Let's start with the first phrase. It's a short but powerful word. No, just no. No explanations, no apologies, and no excuses. Narcissists are used to hearing no only as the start of a negotiation. For them, your refusal is a challenge they must overcome. They expect you to start explaining why you can't do something. Things like, I can't because I'm busy, or I can't because I'm tired. The moment you give a reason, the narcissist immediately attacks it. They'll tell you your plans are unimportant and that your tiredness is ridiculous, but try saying simply no. Do you want to come over right now? No. Do this for me? No. This causes a short circuit in their brain. They don't know what to latch onto. You haven't given them any material for manipulation. This is an assertion of your autonomy. You are telling them that you are a separate individual with the right to choose. For the narcissist who views you as an extension of themselves, this is a shock. Remember, no is a complete sentence, period. The second phrase is simple. I have a different opinion on that. You might think, so what? People disagree all the time. But to a narcissist, this is a profound personal insult. In their world, there is only one valid perspective, their own. When you assert your own opinion, you shatter their illusion of omniscience. They expect you to be a mirror reflecting only their magnificence. And suddenly that mirror speaks back. Be prepared for them to try and convince you that you are foolish. They will insist you don't understand anything. Your goal isn't to argue whose opinion is right. Your job is simply to state the disagreement as a fixed fact. You can even add, the world is richer because we are all different. This will absolutely drive them crazy because they cannot tolerate equality. They need to be superior. This simple statement puts you on equal footing. You are not below them, you are standing right beside them. And for a narcissist, that is utterly unbearable. The third segment focuses on defense against gaslighting. This is the key phrase. I remember it differently. Narcissists love to rewrite history. They will insist they never said those hurtful things or that you simply made it all up. They want you to doubt your own memory and sanity. If you start arguing vehemently, trying to prove the facts, you will lose. They will just shout you down or confuse you. Instead, say calmly, "I hear your version, but I remember it differently." There is immense power in that simple statement. You don't directly call them a liar, which would trigger an explosion of narcissistic rage, but you also don't agree with their delusional narrative. You firmly stand your ground on your reality. You are making it clear that your mind belongs to you. This strips the gaslighting attempt of its power. Gaslighting only works when the victim begins to doubt themselves. With this phrase, you show there are no doubts. You trust yourself. Phrase number 4. I'm sorry you feel that way. This is a power move. Narcissists frequently weaponize their emotions. They might play the victim, blaming you for their distress with statements like, "You upset me," or "You ruined my entire day." Their goal is to induce guilt and make you rush to fix things. Usually, your immediate reaction is to apologize profusely. Instead, use this phrase, "I'm sorry you feel that way." Notice the crucial difference. You are not saying, "I'm sorry I upset you." You are not taking responsibility for their reaction. You show polite empathy, but you maintain your distance. This puts the responsibility for the emotion squarely back on the narcissist. The underlying message is, "You're upset. Okay, that's your feeling. You deal with it." This breaks the usual script where you are walking on eggshells around them. They are left alone with their own negativity, and they absolutely hate that. Point number 5, I will not continue this conversation while you are yelling. This is how you set a real-time boundary. Narcissists love to use anger to intimidate you. Yelling, insults, and aggressive tone. All of these are tools of suppression and control. If you tolerate this behavior or start yelling back, they win. They've successfully dragged you into the chaos. But with that one phrase, you step out of the game. You are setting a clear condition. You want my attention? Then behave respectfully. It's crucial not just to say it, but to follow through. If they continue to scream, you hang up the phone or immediately walk out of the room. You are essentially conditioning them, much like you would a child. You are showing them that access to you is a privilege, not a right. The narcissist is used to you sticking around, no matter what. Your willingness to walk away and cut off contact scares them more than anything else in the world. It signals a complete loss of control. The 6th phrase is incredibly simple, but utterly grounding. It's not about me. Narcissists are masters of projection. They take their own failures and faults and dump them directly onto you. If they are the selfish ones, they will accuse you of being self-centered. If they are the ones cheating, they will be obsessively jealous and suspicious of your every move. When you hear that flood of accusations, it's instinctively easy to start justifying yourself. But you have to stop, take a breath, and deliver the line, "It's not about me." It sounds like you're actually describing yourself. By saying this, you immediately turn the mirror back onto them. You are refusing to accept their toxic gift. Imagine they are trying to hand you a large bag of garbage. You just don't take it. Let them hold their own trash. This phrase requires deep internal confidence. You have to know exactly who you are, so the narcissist's words simply bounce off you. This absolutely confuses them because they are so used to you accepting their projections as the gospel truth. The 7th phrase is, "I need to think about that." Narcissists absolutely love creating false urgency. They hit you with demands like, "Give me the answer right now, decide immediately, do this today." They rush you so you don't have time to engage your critical thinking or realize that you are being manipulated. Urgency is simply their high-pressure tactic. The phrase, "I need to think about that," acts like an emergency brake. You slow down time. You take a crucial pause. You assert, "My time belongs to me. I will make a decision when I am ready, not just because you're pressuring me." This completely takes away their leverage. They will push back, arguing, "What's there to think about? It's completely obvious." You repeat like a broken record, I understand, but I need time to think. And then you do nothing further. This returns control of the situation back to you, protecting you from impulsive decisions that you will surely regret later. The eighth phrase is simple. Your anger won't make me change my mind. Narcissists often act like 2-year-olds throwing a tantrum in a toy store. If they don't get exactly what they want, they throw a fit. Most adults instinctively fear intense anger and back down, often just to keep the peace. The narcissist relies entirely on this response. He uses rage as a tool for emotional blackmail. By stating this phrase, you lay your cards on the table. You are signaling that you see straight through his manipulation. In effect, you are saying, I see that you are angry, but this tactic won't work on me. This completely disarms his primary weapon. Imagine the look on his face when he realizes that his terrifying roar no longer frightens anyone. It instantly transforms him from a fearsome tyrant into a spoiled toddler. And this is the powerful, unshakable position you now occupy. Phrase number 9. Thank you for your opinion. I'll take that into consideration. This is the perfect response to unsolicited advice and criticism. Narcissists absolutely love to criticize. They'll say things like, your hairstyle is awful, you're raising your kids wrong, or you don't know how to spend money. They try to disguise this as concern, but really, it's just a way to undermine your self-esteem. If you start defending yourself, you're essentially admitting that their opinion matters. But if you use this specific phrase in a neutral tone, you turn their words into white noise. You are effectively saying, I hear you. Put that in the inbox folder, and maybe I'll look at it later, or maybe I'll just throw it out. You don't argue, but you don't agree either. This is known as the grey rock technique. You become boring and unemotional. The narcissist is looking for drama, but instead they get a bureaucratic answer. And this infuriates them. Phrase number 10. I won't explain my decision. Narcissists genuinely believe you must account for your every single move. Why did you buy that specific milk? Why did you take this route? Why are you dressed like that? They demand these explanations solely to find fault, poke holes in your logic, and ultimately prove you wrong. But the truth is, you are an adult. You don't owe anyone an explanation. When you use this phrase, you slam the door right in his face. You are starving him of information. Information is power. The less he knows about your motives and actions, the fewer levers he has for control. This builds a necessary zone of privacy and security around you. He will push back and demand to know. He will insist, I have the right to know. You simply and calmly reply, no, this is my private decision. And then you go right back to whatever you were doing. Phrase number 11. You have the right to think that. This is a variation of the standard opinion response, but it operates on a much deeper level. For instance, when a narcissist throws out some outrageous accusations like, you never loved me, or you're selfish, they are waiting for you to prove them wrong. Of course I love you, look how much I do for you. Instead, try agreeing with their right to have the thought, but not with the thought itself. Just say, you have the right to think that. This completely shifts the focus. You are not confirming that you are selfish. What you are confirming is that anything can happen inside their head. That is his mental territory, and you are choosing not to enter it. This demonstrates your complete independence from his judgment. His thoughts are his problems, not your reality. This is the ultimate level of emotional detachment. Phrase number 12. What are you trying to achieve right now? Narcissists often disguise their aggressive digs as jokes or casual observations. For example, wow, you've put on weight, but hey, being curvy totally suits you. If you get upset, they'll immediately pivot and claim you have no sense of humor. Instead, ask them directly, what exactly is your goal in saying that? What outcome are you hoping for with that comment? This question forces them out of the shadows. You are shining a spotlight directly onto their hidden motives. Narcissists absolutely hate being exposed. They will be forced to either admit they wanted to hurt you, which they almost never do, or start backtracking with ridiculous, flimsy excuses. Either way, you've seized control of the interaction. You are no longer the victim of the jab. You are the investigator, asking the uncomfortable questions. Affirmation 13. I trust my intuition. Narcissists systematically try to pull you away from your own inner compass. They hit you with common gaslighting phrases like, "You're imagining things," "You're being too sensitive," or "You're just making that up." Their goal is to become your single source of truth, your only guide in life. By asserting that you trust your gut, you are performing an act of rebellion. You are essentially declaring, "My inner voice matters more than your voice." This is the absolute foundation for healing and recovery. Even if you happen to make a mistake, it is your mistake and your experience to learn from. The narcissist cannot control what resides inside you. Your intuition is strictly off limits, a sanctuary where they have no jurisdiction. This affirmation strengthens your self-trust and reminds you that you have everything you need to navigate the world on your own. Phrase number 14. We can discuss this once you calm down. This is another boundary-setting technique, but it strongly emphasizes a constructive approach. You are demonstrating that you are not refusing communication entirely. Instead, you are refusing a toxic format of interaction. You are presenting yourself as the rational, mature adult. Against this backdrop, the narcissist's tantrum looks particularly pathetic. He wants immediate chaos. You, however, are offering order and time. This prevents him from emotionally overwhelming or manipulating you in the heat of the moment. Most of the time, once he actually calms down, he won't need to discuss anything anymore. That's because manipulation simply doesn't work without intense emotion, and he usually doesn't have any real problems worth discussing. The entire problem was just his desire to offload his negativity onto you. Phrase number 15. I didn't ask for your approval. Narcissists often act like demanding parents or harsh judges. They constantly evaluate your choices, your clothes, your job, everything. They might say, "Well, it's not bad, but you could have done better." They expect you to constantly strive to earn their praise. This phrase completely dismantles that hierarchy. You knock them off their self-appointed pedestal. You are essentially saying, "I don't care if you like this or not, I'm doing this for me." This strikes at the narcissist's most vulnerable spot, their overwhelming sense of self-importance. They genuinely thought they were the center of your universe. It turns out you can be happy and successful without their high and mighty permission. It is a clear demonstration of your freedom. Phrase 16. Let's stick to the facts. Narcissists are masters of word salad. They will bury you under a mountain of illogical arguments, dragging up ancient history and jumping chaotically from topic to topic. Their sole goal is to confuse and disorient you. This phrase acts as your anchor. It prevents you from being dragged out into the sea of absurdity. Facts are highly inconvenient for a narcissist, primarily because they are rarely in their favor. They will immediately try to pivot to emotions, and you must consistently bring them back to the facts. This requires discipline and persistence. Do not fall for the provocation. Just keep repeating, "Those are emotions. The facts are these. We agreed on 5 o'clock. You arrived at 7 o'clock. Full stop." No drama, just cold, hard statistics. They have no effective defense against that approach. Phrase number 17. I'm not afraid to lose you anymore. This is one of the most potent statements you can make, but only deploy it when you are genuinely ready. The narcissist's entire power structure relies on your fear of abandonment and rejection. They constantly hint that you are worthless, that they will find someone better, and that you cannot possibly survive without them. The moment you stop fearing their departure, they lose all leverage. This is checkmate. When they realize the threat of a breakup no longer works, they will panic. They might suddenly become extremely compliant, even start showering you with gifts. This is commonly known as hoovering or the sugar show. But do not be fooled. If you have deployed this phrase, there is no turning back. This is the ultimate declaration of your independence. Phrase number 18. I cannot be responsible for how you interpret my words. So often, you say something completely harmless and the narcissist twists it completely out of context. You might say you're tired and they hear, I'm bored with you. You immediately start explaining, no, that's not what I meant at all. Stop. Don't do that. Just use this phrase instead. Between what you said and what they heard, there is the filter of their own perception. That filter is broken, and you are not a mechanic hired to fix it. You are releasing yourself from the responsibility of managing their distorted perception. This saves you a huge amount of energy. Let them live with their interpretations. Those are their problems, not yours. You know what you said, and that is enough. Phrase number 19. No, I won't do that. A simple refusal to act. Narcissists frequently treat you like their personal staff. They demand, fetch this, run that errand, do this for me, solve my problems. They exploit your inherently helpful nature. A direct refusal to indulge one of their whims is viewed as mutiny. They will be genuinely shocked. Wait, what? The automated tool has developed a will of its own? Be prepared for immediate accusations of selfishness. But always remember this, taking care of yourself is not selfishness. Refusing to be someone's servant is perfectly normal. This phrase draws a critical line between genuine help and pure exploitation. You are willing to assist, but you are absolutely not willing to serve. The narcissist hates this distinction, but it is absolutely vital for your well-being. And finally, the 20th and last phrase, I see you for who you really are. This is the nuclear option. The narcissist's greatest fear is total exposure. Deep down, they are consumed by shame and worthlessness. Their entire grandiose persona is just a mask constructed to hide that internal emptiness. When you deliver this line calmly and look them directly in the eye, you rip the mask right off. You are essentially saying, the game is over. I see the small, terrified child inside you. I see your manipulations. I see your lies. Be warned, this can trigger the most extreme narcissistic rage, so proceed with extreme caution and ensure your safety first. However, psychologically, this is the moment of your total victory. You are no longer an audience member in their theater. You become the critic who calls out the actor's terrible performance. Once this is said, their spell is completely broken. So, here they are, these 20 phrases. Each one is a foundational brick in the wall of your personal boundaries. Using these words takes courage. The first time you say them, your voice might shake and your heart will pound. And that's okay. A narcissist will resist. In fact, they will likely double down, trying to punch holes in your newly built armor. But remember this, their reaction is confirmation that you are doing everything right. You are no longer an easy resource. You are transitioning into a recognized individual. The most important part isn't just saying the words, it's believing them. Believing in your fundamental right to say no, to hold your own opinions, and to live your own life. Friends, which of these 20 phrases felt the hardest for you to say? And which one are you ready to implement starting today? Let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss it. If you found this video helpful, please support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. It truly helps us create more vital content like this. Take care of yourself. Remember, you are stronger than you think. I'll see you in the next video.